So welcome, you guys. Thank you. Angela, I can't see you, but I do appreciate you joining. And hopefully you get to see everybody else. I like coming off of Facebook and coming into Zoom because it allows us to interact.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a 45-second delay on a live feed on Facebook. So when you're trying to interact with people, hey, there you are. When you're trying to interact on Facebook, you're going to add at least 45 seconds, well, probably a minute, because then the person has to type, they have to reply, and then you got to wait. So you're going to add a minute for every question that you ask anybody in your audience. All right. Actually, that didn't feel right. Here we go. This is the 7th chakra, Angel Uriel. And she's gorgeous. She's got all this purple. She's got all this lace. Really feminine, gorgeous crown. And this one just came out too. This one is the world. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that. And here is the last one, walking away. So let's go ahead and start today with this reading to go ahead and just kind of get us into, I don't know, it's kind of cool to just see where the tone and the energy of everybody is, because this message will be for all of us. So 41. And then we will jump into class. I was just saying I actually put together a PowerPoint presentation, so that will be fun.
Who's better than you?
Let's see. This one is the beautiful angel Uriel, also called the fire of God, wears a brilliant crystal crown vibrating with a passionate connection to the divine. She brings great power to your 7th energy center, which is also called the crown chakra. That's right here on the top of your head. And this card upright indicates an open, free flowing channel of information from the wonderful beings of the spirit world. This could also be a time of great intuition for you and guidance from your higher awareness. So allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen. There we go, Terry. I'm gonna put you on mute now. You're officially quieting your mind. I love Terry. So let's see. Now is a great time to get connected. Assistance from spirit is great. And whether it's the presence of an ascended master, a powerful angel like Uriel, or just a loving friend or family member in spirit, their love and willingness to assist is always there. They even open you to the Akashic records, the storehouse of all information. This connection is open now, and you will find that your own spirit and spirit of those around you will be able to provide the answers you seek and the blessings you desire and deserve. And I know the energy here, we are all, I think, pretty open right now, so that's pretty cool that we've all come together. And let's see, the next one is the world. And this one says, the man in this picture is looking out over a bay, above which the beautiful sphere of the earth is rotating. The card is reminding you to expand your vision and template some much broader options. The world is wide. There's a lot out there to consider. In the modern age of technology, this could specifically be referring to creating or expanding to a more global network through the internet or social marketing. Mm-hmm. In the modern age of technology, this could, I think I reread that one. Drawing this card also lets you know that you have an unlimited resource available to you, and now is the time to think big. As they say, and the world is your oyster, so get ready to gobble it up. It's pretty cool. And the last one is walking away. This one, I think we have some, oh, hold on, I totally lost my screen. This one is letting go and moving on. And all these cards were upright, you guys. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. She's closing the gate behind her and is walking away into a misty, unknown future. This card upright reveals that it could be the time for you to make a similar decision. There may be something that you're finished with, perhaps a career goal, a relationship, a long-term experience of any kind. The familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options and the open road ahead. In reality, the new beginning is at hand. This card also indicates that now would be a good time to let go of an old habit, emotional pattern, or false belief. No matter how deeply ingrained a negative pattern may be, you now have the power to release it and move on to freer, healthier ways of thinking and relating to yourself and others. Whether it's in the inner or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and the resources to walk away from the old and move forward now. You guys, intuition is strong right now. I wasn't going to pull this third card, and I literally went to the middle of the deck and just pulled it where I felt like it needed to come from. And our topic today is exactly all about releasing limiting beliefs and all of that, which is deeply tied to energy healing. So this was a perfect message for today's class. As usual, everything is always in divine timing. And this deck, if you guys are interested, is Energy Oracle cards. And they're really, really pretty. During Virtue, had a special. They were like $10. And I got 10 decks to support my business. And they're all energy and women and bodies. And so they're pretty cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up the PowerPoint. And if you give me just a minute, this might take me a second to figure out. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, and I don't know how to get that off of there, but I will do this. All right, so welcome to Intro to Energy Healing. I am Honey Marie Love, the Serenity Maven. I am an intuitive healer and a freedom coach at the Targeted Wellbeing Center. So welcome. I am super excited to be teaching a class to you all. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. And let's see. Okay, so I do need to give a disclaimer about alternative medicine therapies. This is something that the FDA requires us to give. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this and make sure we're all on the same page, which is this information is not intended to cure, treat, or prevent any disease. Please follow the care of your chosen medical provider for medical conditions. Honey Marie Love, Honey Marie Tapia, the Serenity Maven, nor the Targeted Wellbeing Center recommend against the prescribed care of your chosen medical provider. So as we go through this, as anything is stated, please know that these are only suggestions, and it's really up to you what is best for you, and I will leave that decision always in my client's hands. So energy healing when introduced can be used alone or in conjunction with existing care. So if you are under existing care, please discuss with your medical care provider if you have any concerns. I personally have been seeing many medical care providers, and some either have heard of it and don't say anything, or if they have, they give it praise and they support using energy medicine. All right. So again, I am Honey Marie Love, the Serenity Maven. I am an intuitive healer, which means as a healer, I intuitively listen to nudges and prompts. And I share that information with people, and that information is usually what they need to hear at that point in time to make, to either release old pain or or everything's different. A lot of people that I cross paths with are releasing old pain, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's always what they're dealing with. And as a freedom coach, what that means is I teach you to create a life of your dreams without limits. And as a coach, it's not my job to tell you what to do, but it's my job to lead you and guide you and give you that validation that you need, and be real with you. I will be very truthful in a gentle, loving way, but I will always be truthful. And I follow my intuition. So if I'm guided to give a message, I give it. I'm certified in many healing modalities, Reiki, crystal healing, EERT, meditation, angels, Akashic records, as well as gem and flower elixirs. I officially began this year, although this is something I've been actually doing my whole life. I am currently seeing clients online and in person in one-on-one sessions as well as classes. This is my calling. There's no doubt about it. I used to be afraid of being called weird, just as little as a week ago. But I know without a doubt this is my calling. And I also know that like attracts like. So there's no doubt that you guys are here because this is a calling for you as well. So I was given the message that I am called to nurture the world. And in turn, I will be nurtured, and my family and I will heal our generational trauma of not being nurtured. So that to me is really important, not just for my family, but like when I look out my door, I feel infinite love. I don't feel an end. I don't feel my love end at my home. It's just infinite. And those people that need me will cross my path. Some people it'll be just for a moment, maybe a discussion, and some other people it may be, a lot longer than that. And so I'm open, I'm ready, and I'm stepping up, and I really feel that energy in this class. If you're in this class, it's because you're being called as well. So love is the answer, you guys. All things in love. That's really what my life, I don't want to say motto, but it's kind of where it all boils down to is love. So what is energy healing? And we'll start with what is a healer. I just talked about that a moment ago. I have the ability to help you identify what you need to be working on from a intuitive level, from a spiritual level, at your essence, so that you can be healed as a whole. And we'll go into more what whole healing is in a little bit. What is energy healing? So in order to understand that, we really have to understand what energy is. And my favorite example is the sun and the moon and the ocean, because I think that's something that, regardless of our beliefs and our exposures, even just through observation, we know that there is some sort of relationship between the sun and the moon and the ocean. It controls the tides. There is a cycle. It's very intelligent, and that energy, we can't see it. Some of us can feel it, right? We know that, hospitals, emergency rooms around a full moon, they're full for a reason. So if we can all agree that the sun and the moon have energy relationship with the ocean, and that energy is infinite, and that's how it's able to do that, and that we take that a step further and we can agree that all things have energy, then I think the rest of this class will fall into place nicely for you. When we look at energy, our experiences that we go through from conception all the way till now have shaped us. And that energy is positive and negative. And we absorb it at the cellular level, all the way down at the cellular level. And if we don't do something to clear it or release it, we hold on to that. And with energy, it can make us healthy. So if there's healing energy, is there energy that can make us unhealthy? That to me is the obvious question. As a data analyst, I always look at all sides of the box. If you're going to show me the top, I'm always going to ask about the bottom and all sides. And so if energy can help heal us, then I think we have to also accept that energy can make us sick. Now, we can take that a step further and talk about types of energy, and the fact that energy is measurable. And I think that to me is what makes this undeniable when sharing with people. It almost makes miracles have proof to me, because you can't really deny physics, right? There's science in that. And so this is something that even my teenage sons can't really push back on me very hard. So with high frequency, that is positive energy. And with low frequencies, that's negative energy. And again, everything has energy, and that could be from an inanimate object to adamant objects. So that is pretty much it on energy healing. I'm going to go ahead and pause here and see if anybody has questions before we move on to the next slide, which we're going to go into various healing modalities. And I can't see on the screen, so if you do have a question, just go ahead and unmute and ask. Otherwise, okay, we'll go ahead and move on. All right, healing modalities. Really, healing modalities are endless because energy exists in everything. We can use pretty much anything to heal. And I also have that belief, you know, the other side of the box, we can use pretty much anything to make us sick as well. And so we'll go into that in a little bit in the Q&A section, because I know that I had some reservations with some of the healing modalities based off of my experiences and what I was exposed to being raised. So we'll answer some of those questions, and if you still have any more after that, we will dive into that in the Q&A for sure. So here are some healing modalities. These are ones that I use, and these may be ones that you are familiar with. And we're not going to dive deep into these, because each one of these, I mean, each one is its own portal, right, of information. But I think the connection with every single one of them, if you look at it, is energy. That's really energy. And one thing that I did want to talk about on positive and negative energy is that the highest vibration, highest frequency available or possible is love. So everything in love is absolutely healing, absolutely healing. Okay, so let's talk about, you know, prayer here. This is one that people probably are familiar with. A lot of religions use prayer. And sometimes even people that don't have a religion may use prayer, and they just don't put that label on it. But I would say that prayer is that eternal relationship that we have with something greater than us. And some people may describe that differently. I help people of all religions, or even those that do not have one. And so I happen to be Christian, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I am limited to helping Christians. So I just want to share that when it comes to talking about prayer and these different things. And we'll actually talk about that a little bit later, because sometimes words mean something to us differently than the person speaking. So we'll talk about that too. Meditation. So meditation is a practice of going within and being still and listening to the messages that come from within, and just being still and allowing the body to recharge and regenerate the necessary nutrients from an energy level during those sessions. Yoga is another form of that. It includes movement and as well as poses. A lot of affirmations are included in yoga as well. Crystals. This is one that, crystal energy. I love crystals. I wear crystals every day. Ladies, if you do not have a medicine bag tucked into your bra, please PM me, because we need to get you one. Let me just say that. I would be happy to help you figure out a combination of stones to throw into a little pouch and carry around with you. I have them in my car. I have them in my home. I've given each of my kids necklaces. They actually really like them as much as they make fun of me. They love their necklaces. So I have a whole wall of crystals I'm staring at right now. And the thing with crystals is, if we go back to our sun and the moon and that energy, think about how old crystals and stones are. And crystals and stones, to me, they're one and the same. Scientifically, there's some differences, right? But they all have energy. They are made of the earth. They are millions of years old. Excuse me. And they are made with universal energy, which is made from God's love. And crystals have retained that high vibration that they were created with. And so that's why they're so special and magnificent. And one of the things with energy is colors. Colors have a lot of energy in them, or tied to them. I'm going to put you on pause for just a moment. So crystals are one of those things that I just love to have around. They raise your vibration. They raise the vibration of the area that you're in. And actually it's so funny that I did a post on essential oils, and I forgot to list it here. So I will go back in and add this to the slide. But essential oils are also very high frequency. And if you go out there and do some research, essential oils is a whole nother world. And I am just literally opening up the hood on that. Today, while I was working on this class and preparing, I had my oils infusing, and I had passion, a mixture, I had cheer, and I had motivate, along with some citrus blend. Really made for an awesome environment to be working in. And so the next healing modality that I will share with you is Reiki. This is something that I have been attuned in, and I completed the Miracle 90 program. And so what Reiki is God's healing light and love. That's really what it is. And for those people that have a problem with the G word, you can use universe. It's universal light and love. It is just basically the purest, highest, most awesomest thing ever. And once you introduce Reiki into your life and into your awareness, healing and yoga and prayer and meditation and crystals and animals and plants and people in nature are like on steroids. They're intensified, the healing effects. So the next one that we're going to talk about is animals, plants, people, and nature. I'm kind of going to wrap these up all in one. And that is that everything has energy, and animals and plants and people, especially babies, have pure, pure love. Same thing with nature. And so that's why we really need to get out in nature and recharge, because that energy is vital. It is vital for us. The most important thing to know about energy healing is that the number one requirement for all healing, and it doesn't matter whether you believe in energy healing or not, is intention. You guys, there's a reason why the placebo effect works. There's a reason why society labeled it the placebo effect. There's a reason why people are made to believe that they're crazy if they start feeling better and they act better. Our I'm going to say our outlook really has everything to do with our intentions. All healing. So I'm going to move on to the next slide unless there's any questions on healing modalities. Awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Healing yourself. So healing yourself is whole health, balanced spirit, mind, and body. And we achieve that through daily self-care and at times radical self-care. And how we do this is through the alignment of beliefs, thoughts, and actions. I do have a worksheet available to work through, and it takes you through, it's actually really simple, and when you look at it, you'll be like, this is so simple. But when you have new things that come to your awareness, and usually what you'll do is you'll catch yourself saying something, and it's going to be that saying that your mom said or your dad said or whoever raised you or whoever you were around growing up, those sayings that just come out. Pay attention to those. The I can't statements, or that's not possible. Even if it seems like a total legitimate that's not possible, like I can't get to work because the car won't start. Well, you can walk, you can ride a skateboard, you can ride somebody's back. There's those types of automatics, or perhaps you were raised in a house where everything was no automatically. Every time you asked for something, it was no. Or perhaps every time you had a brilliant idea, you were told to be quiet. Those beliefs or those experiences will affect and limit your thinking, which in turn may have you thinking that your beliefs are those thoughts. And the fact is that your beliefs are who you are at your essence, without any thoughts, without any experiences, without anything. Your beliefs, not anybody else's beliefs, your beliefs are what you were born with. I'm gonna be quiet and let you think on that one for a moment. Your beliefs are what you were born with. Anything beyond that has been given to you through your experiences and your exposure to what you have gone through in life. And what you need to know is that essence of who you are is still who you are. That's still who you are in this moment. And I'd like you to just sit there for a moment and think about you as a child. Think about that child and loving on that child and what that feels like. Tap into that person, your earliest memories, and start going back and really remembering who you are at your essence. Now, right now, we're setting this intention just by having this conversation. You don't have to go out there and think about this. You don't have to go, oh my gosh, I was just in this class and honey said I got this worksheet and I got to do this stuff. No, that's not how it works. We've set the intentions. You ask for help. You ask your guides and angels to help you, and they will have thoughts cross your mind. They will have experiences happen, and it'll happen in a matter of moments, in a matter of days, in a matter of weeks. And you'll start seeing things and connecting the dots. And when that happens, you're going to pull this worksheet out. And the only reason why you're going to write it out on the worksheet is so that you can put it into action. And after you start doing this on the worksheet, as these things come up, and these things might come up over months, over years, over your lifetime. And as you start to do this on the worksheet, and some people may not need the worksheet, you guys, but some of us do. And as you do this on the worksheet, you'll get in the practice of thinking this way, of stepping yourself through and going, wow, why did I just say this? Is this me? Do I really believe this? Okay, what are my actions that I automatically take because of those thoughts? And what are the actions that I want to take now because of my beliefs? And that's where this worksheet comes in handy, because you can look at it and you can document over time how you've grown. You can see what your beliefs were, and you can see, you can see what your thoughts were and what your beliefs truly are. And then those actions, what you can do is you can write down systems and things that you're going to put in place so that you can then be honest with yourself and be authentic and true to who you are, and make sure that the actions that you're going to take when those situations occur in the future are tied to your beliefs. And when you have them written down, there's a lot of power in that. So we're going to talk about that too, about the power of words, in just a moment when we get to a couple other slides. So the other worksheet is creating your dream life. And I noticed there is a typo on here. Decisions made easier worksheet. How many of us would love to have an easy button? I was sitting on an airplane, and it was a long flight. Well, actually, it wasn't that long. It was 2.5 hours, but I heard this guy talk for 2.5 hours, and he was a head chiropractor, and he had a new, excuse me, he had a new gentleman coming into his practice, and he was telling him all about the seminar he went to and how it just changed his life. Well, on that long flight, I sat there and I listened to this guy in front of me, and that flight changed my life. So this is something that I give to you. It may not be something that you take away right now, but this is definitely a seed planted. And when the time is right for you to implement this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I remember when Honey talked about this. I need to implement this. And you'll come back and you'll get it. So creating your dream life, when you start your actions, when your actions are now, because we've gone in the first step, right? We're now continuously and dynamically changing our actions, right? Based off of our beliefs. And now we're going to evolve, and we're going to have 3 non-negotiables and 3 priorities. What's really important is that this is for the home and the household, not for the individual. If you are in a household with a partner, and that partner needs to be on board with this. Otherwise, your decisions aren't going to be easy. They need to be included in what's being considered. You have to bring it up at a high enough level so that it works for you. And this is a living, breathing decision, or these items, and you'll look at them as often as you need to. I say look at them at least monthly. But for sure, if something is coming up and your decisions are becoming hard, then you need to stop and look at your non-negotiables and your priorities. So for me, a non-negotiable is my business. And this is something that I switched this around, and mine has evolved over the last, oh gosh, this was 4 years ago when I started putting this in place. But non-negotiables are, and this might seem silly, Taco Tuesday. That's a non-negotiable. Non-negotiables are my business. Non-negotiable is health. Those are the 3 non-negotiables. So all of my decisions, whether it's grocery shopping, whether it's scheduling an appointment, if there are any conflicts, I go to my non-negotiables. If I go to my budget, I go to my, if there's an issue with the budget, I go to my non-negotiables, because that is what has been established. And again, it's difficult. Sometimes you have to reevaluate it. Sometimes you have to bring it up a level. Sometimes maybe it's too broad and you need to get more detailed with it. Priorities. Now what priorities do is this, really what it is you have 6 really important things, but we can only balance 3 at a time. And non-negotiables are really going to be what help you make those decisions, but your priorities are going to help you with the deal breakers, or when there's conflicts coming up. So perhaps a priority may be education, right? Because maybe education is really, really important, because education is, right? But maybe that's going to be a priority and not a non-negotiable right now. because maybe it's summertime and the education pieces fall under extracurricular, and that's too many things to balance and consider in the decisions. So anyhow, I hope this has opened your mind up to new thinking, to new systems, to new ways of gently loving yourself on this journey and being honest with yourself. Really, I think the more honest you are with both of these worksheets, the easier it is. And again, that's a growth process too. Any questions before? This is probably new to you guys, especially this. It may not be new, but maybe just in the way I've presented it. So if you have any questions. All right. Healing others. So one of the things as a healer is that not only can we heal ourselves, and not only do we have the answers for healing ourselves, but we actually have the answers for healing those around us. Family members, kids, pets, plants. And that could be anything from anxiety, maybe they need to go to sleep, maybe they're dealing with a health issue. There's all kinds of reasons why families need healing. My family needed healing for, we had traumas and a lot of toxic behaviors that were created through coping and out of anger and fear and resentments. And through my own healing, my family is healing around me, and that ultimately is the goal for me. Pets, that's really important. A lot of us love our pets, and we have special connections with them. And if we listen and we strengthen our intuition through our own healing process, we can become more in tune with what our pets and need around us. And that same thing applies to plants. And I don't know if any of you guys have a relationship with plants, but people make fun of me. I'm a tree hugger. I'm up here in the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, I'm a tree hugger. I have my plants. I talk to them. I do Reiki on them. Plants have feelings. They don't have a brain. So you're kind of like, well, how do they have feelings? How do they feel the feelings? But remember, they have energy and they feel energy. So plants do have feelings. Okay, so I do want to talk about healing others, and especially for those of us that have been labeled as introverts. If you go out into public and you have a hard time being around other people, know that out of the healing modalities that we shared, that Reiki is an amazing healing modality that is protective and healing. So that means as we use Reiki to heal ourselves, we can heal others, and we also create protection for ourselves. So I don't know if you are familiar with energy vampires, but those are usually people, and you know who they are, because as soon as they come around you, they suck the life out of you. They drain you. And I will tell you that with these healing tools, that you can learn to protect yourself through grounding and healing. So right now we do have about 15 minutes left of the classroom portion. So we're going to keep going through this, and then we'll open up the Q&A and we will do a healing session. So intro to meditation. These are a lot of things that I hear. It's hard to clear my thoughts. I tried and it's just not for me. I hear that often. I actually believe that myself. It's one of those things, it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the better you get. I encourage people to start at 5 minutes. You can do anything for 5 minutes. And even if that's sit there and say, gosh, I can't clear my thoughts for 5 minutes, you're giving the intention and the time. So that's where it all starts. Give yourself that time. Meditation, 20 minutes of meditation is the equivalent of 1 hour of sleep. So if you have the excuse of not having time, you have time. You can get up 20 minutes earlier and you'll actually be gaining 40 minutes of sleep. If all you do is get up 20 minutes earlier, you're going to feel rested an extra hour. So if you have an excuse, feel free to message me. You guys are part of the group. I am going to be starting a daily self-care where people can comment and encourage each other to do that. I know that helps keep me on point, and so we'll be opening that. When you're meditating, one of the really cool things to do is journal. I encourage you to have a journal nearby. And please remember that daily self-care is critical and essential. As empaths and people that feel so much, this is how we protect ourselves. And the more that we do this, it's going to allow us to live that full, free life and get rid of that label that we have owned of introvert. That's not our label. It doesn't belong to us. We are meant to be out there giving and loving and talking and interacting and having community physically with people. So these tools are going to change your life because it's now going to open up situations that you may not have been able to participate in up to this point. So congratulations for finding this, because this is truly, truly going to help you. And so one of the things that we really just want to summarize in all of these things, and I want you to ask yourself, are you giving away your power? Are you taking that step, that critical act of honoring your self-truth? Are you loving and listening to your essence? When you go to sleep at night, you can ask your dreams to remind you of your purpose. Maybe after today's class, you feel like you're in a place where you know a little bit more. I know when I went through a similar class like this, my whole body was giving me signals the whole time. I had goosebumps. I had a feeling of the most love, joy, peace, happiness. I felt it in that moment, and it gave me that hope. You guys, a breeze just came in through the door as I said that. I felt it in that moment, and I knew. And I hope that if you're already on your journey, that this is just validation for you. And if you are really truly stepping into a place of new awareness, please remember that you need to be gentle with yourself, be curious, hold space for yourself. And one of the things I learned is, you know, everybody says forgive. You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive this person. You got to forgive that person. And once I realized that I needed to honor my truth and that my life choices created experiences for me to end up exactly where I am today, and that those life experiences allow me to help an infinite amount of people around the world, then everything that I have experienced up till now and everything that you have experienced up to now doesn't need to be forgiven. It really doesn't. And you may be hearing that and it may not be sitting in your heart and sitting in your body, and that's okay. There will be a time when there is no guilt, there is no stress and bad feelings and this negativity weighing you down and limiting you. Because I know it limits me. I know that lifetime healing is what's required. And we're going to keep being gentle. We're going to keep being love. That's what we're going to do. All right, any questions? So here are some common questions that I do want to talk about, just because sometimes we're too nervous to just talk about the elephant in the room, or perhaps we've already gone through experiences that have answered these. But I think these are the most common questions that I've heard, and I know that I had these questions myself. So the first one I'm just going to dive right in is, what about religion? Where does religion fit with energy healing? I kind of touched on that earlier with the sun and the moon, and talking about how anything can be, used for positive or negative energy, or, have positive or negative energy. And so the way I look at this is, religion has nothing to do with energy healing. We just take religion out of it completely. Now, sometimes we have religion that uses words or has recommendations about words being used. And what I suggest there is you use whatever words you feel comfortable with. And if you are working with someone in your healing journey that uses words that don't resonate you, feel free to change them. Feel free to just change them up in your own mind. It won't hurt their feelings. They won't know. But I really encourage you to be open-minded and not exclude something because a specific religious or specific religion is associated with that, because I think we have a lot to learn from that. My favorite example to give about religion and thinking about, positive and negative is a candle. A candle is a tool, just like all of these healing modalities that we're talking about, they're tools. A candle is used by many religions as a form of, symbolism. Sorry, I totally just got sidetracked there. That candle can be used even by people outside of religion, right? So that candle itself doesn't mean that just because you light a candle or you use a candle that it has a religious basis. And the same thing is, just because you light a candle for religious basis doesn't mean it's being lit with positive intentions and positive energy. So what we take away from that is that it's all about intention. And I do have a story that goes along with that. I am a Christian. I was being questioned about what I was doing through my Reiki program. And I had just ordered a bunch of crystals. I had a pile of fluorite in my hand. And I was walking down the stairs. Literally, I had just had a conversation, got it from the computer, and someone was questioning, why am I meditating? Why am I going to yoga? Why am I doing these things? They're not Christian. So because I knew exactly what I was doing was right for me, I actually started questioning my religion. And it surprised me. But I'm glad that I had those moments because it made my faith even stronger. And I'm really happy for that. So what happened was I walked down the stairs, and at the bottom of the stairs was a box, and it was a banana box. It had one of those little rectangles cut out the top. And one of those stones fell into the box as I was walking down the stairs. And I actually said out loud, I was like, haha, very funny. You want me to look in this box because there's a message for me in here. And so I opened the box, and sure enough, there is my grandmother's Bible. And so I opened up the Bible, and that's actually what the stone landed on, was my grandmother's Bible. So I opened up the Bible, and inside the Bible was a piece of paper that said James 1:17. And it basically alludes to that if it's of God, it's good. And this feeling that I had was pure love. And it was the best feeling ever. And this feeling is what I relate to God. And so my answer was given to me. So regardless of your religion or your religious beliefs, I ask you to not listen to me. I ask you to not listen to anybody else. I ask you to follow your own guidance and your own intuition. And it may take some time, and it may take some experiences for you to really be comfortable with your gifts. But that's okay. Remember, be gentle, be curious. That's really going to help you. God versus universe versus spirit. What does it all mean? Again, we touched on this. In my eyes, God created the universe. We know that there is something greater. We know that there are, angels. A lot of us believe in angels, and you can equate an angel to a ghost, a spirit, and an angel, universal energy. A lot of people will just equate it to God. Some will say Jesus, some will say the Holy Ghost, some will say they're separate, some will say they're all one. You get to say whatever you want, and it's up to you whether you share with anybody that too. So remember, that's yours and part of your essence. So one of the feelings that I really struggled with was I was raised not to do this. So I just told you about the Bible story. I say, go within, you'll know. How do I do this? You'll know. Within. All of a sudden, like over the next couple days, you're going to be like, oh, I feel like doing this. I feel like doing that. I mean, there's been days I'm like, oh my gosh, if somebody walks in right now, they're going to put me in an institution. There's been days I've just felt like chanting or just, letting vibration come up out of my body and let it out. And so I'm sure you will know what feels right, and don't fight it, because your body is showing you and telling you how you need healing. Just go with it. Lock yourself in a room by yourself if you have to. And another question I get is, can you help me? I get what you're telling me, but I would like more help. So let's see, the next thing that we are going to do, now that we've gotten all like, we've got all this information, right? And our head's spinning and our heart's trying to open up and we're trying to figure out what to do with it. We are going to do a energy healing session. And so what I'd like to do is, if you just give me a moment, I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And we will get started. And I'm not going to say how long it's going to be. I'm just going to let it be intuitively led. And we will go from there. All right. Are you guys with me?
Still here.
Good. Okay, I'm going to stop recording for just a moment. Let me go ahead and start recording. Express your inner truth. So your creative work shines brightest when it reflects your genuine feelings and thoughts. Beautiful message. Okay. We're going to start by taking in 3 cleansing breaths. In through our nose and out through our mouths. If you're watching this video, know that you can sit back and relax and just listen. And take another nice deep breath through your nose. Fill your belly. Another one. Go ahead and relax your shoulders. Make sure they're down and away from your ears, nice and relaxed. We have a bunch of women in here, so if you would like, you can go ahead and make this shape with your hands, and you can set it right on your womb area, and it'll just strengthen all this feminine energy we have with us. Ooh, that connection. Okay. We're going to start by clearing our chakra. We're going to start at our root. this is the area in between our legs and up to right above our pubic bone. You want to envision a nice, bright, red, vibrant light, full of healing, light, and love, clearing and filling this area. Go ahead and release with a nice deep breath. We're going to bring this light from red up to orange to our bellies. It's going to fill with a bright orange glow. Maybe warm, it may be cool. You feel it bursting and breaking through blocks. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Release it all. As we breathe in, we're going to draw this energy up to our solar plexus. This is our area right above our belly button and below our breasts. We're going to feel this warm, sunshiny, golden yellow glow. Feel the warmth radiate. You may be getting messages from your guides. Listen to them. Pay attention to the area that you feel these thoughts and voices. Notice that they're not coming from that exhaustive place that you've been living in, trying to control everything and think of everything. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. We're going to show gratitude and thankfulness for these messages that we're receiving. It might be a feeling, it might be a thought, it might be a memory, it might be a picture, it might be a smell. We're going to open up our hearts and fill our chest with a bright, green, vibrant light. And in the middle of this green, vibrant light, we see a little tiny pink dot. And we start to fill this little pink dot with this love that we feel right now in this moment. We fill it up and we feel it growing. This pink dot is growing from a tiny green dot, a pink dot, in this green, vibrant light. And it's growing larger. This pink dot is growing into a large circle. And it's growing and growing almost to the point to where you cannot see the green love energy. This pink represents your self-love. Not God's love, not others' love, but your love. What you now realize is it feels just like God's love, and it feels like the love you want from others. Is what you realize now is that we are all connected. You guys, this is beautiful connection. Just enjoy it. Feel that self-love bubble. Just fill it up. Pay attention to the signals in your body. You may feel twitches, releases. You may have them in all places of your body, even unmentionables. Pay attention. The shifts are happening. All right. We're going to bring this loving light that's so healing up into our throat. We have the courage and the strength so that our words now match our truths. We speak with integrity. Those we attract around us speak with integrity. Our words are releasing love. And the energy that we release with that love will come back to us. We are going to speak life into ourselves by speaking life into others. And just open your mouth and let all this energy flow out. You've been limiting yourself, holding your self back from speaking your truth. You may feel some tension in your shoulders. You have some fear and anger and resentment. Go ahead and just let it go. That love feeling is that feeling that you need to live in. You're going to create your future from these moments. When you live every moment in that moment, you are creating your truth, your dreams. Your future will be filled with happiness. And release. You might feel some tension that was in your neck just release. I just felt that. Your whole body is starting to feel different. You can now feel the difference between your head and the rest of your body. I'm going to bring this energy up into our third eye. We're going to envision an eye looking out. If you can't see and this eye is closed, I want you to envision it opening. If your eye is open but it's tiny, go ahead and make it bigger. I want you to picture a bright purple light coming out of the front of your head. And this light is now going to show you the way. Your dreams are going to be filled with visions. You're going to have a sense of your purpose. You're going to be stepping in and taking action because you can see clearly now. What was once in the dark is now in the light. You no longer have a fear of this light. You realize realize that that comfortable place with your fears is not why you're here. You may only feel that you're not capable because others weren't capable. And it's not that they weren't capable out of choice. They're capable and capable out of experience. They may have not been given this opportunity, or if it was given to them, they were not ready for it. But you're ready. So we're going to open up the tops of our head to our crown chakra. And we're going to allow all this energy that's now bursting in us to come out the tops of our head and shower up and over our shoulders and fall down and around us to our feet. And we feel safe and protected and radiating with love. You guys, this radiate, I just feel it. Like literally feel it around my arms, around this protection of love. It may feel cool, it may feel warm, it may feel tingly, it may feel like nothing at all, and that is okay. We're going to draw this energy back up through our bottoms of our feet, and we're going to draw up the earth energy with that, and we're going to cycle this up through our body and around and down our feet. We're going to start cycling this through. Just enjoy it. It can go as slow or as fast as you need it to. You're in control. You're always in control. All right, when you're done cycling, I want you to go ahead and wiggle your hands and toes and come to when you're ready, back into this moment. Whew. All right, you guys, that was absolutely beautiful. I feel like euphoric right now. I can equate this to when I gave birth to my children. This is like, whew. Wow. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If you are relaxing and enjoying, go ahead and just stay where you are. And thank you again for sharing your energy and being here. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to go to sleep after this. Good night, you guys. Namaste.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.